G'day guys, the markets have been absolutely tanking. This is the biggest crash since the implosion of FTX a few years ago. And I'm here today to give you my thoughts on the current market situation and my strategy going forward. So if you like the sounds of that, make sure to like and subscribe and let's get into it. Now, having a look, we can see an absolute sea of red. Everything is down massively, over 20% for the day, and a lot of cryptos down over 30 to 40% for the week. Our altcoins have been getting absolutely crushed. And why is this? Well, the Japan Stock Exchange has actually had its worst day since 1987. And the stock market in Japan has been absolutely crashing, which has caused a ripple effect on the US stock market and also the crypto markets as well, with all of the markets just absolutely tanking. Well, what are we doing from here? Well, let's take a look at the chart for a second. Now, I want to zoom in a little bit. So we're going to have a look at the Bitcoin chart. Now, there were a few warning signs. Now, what we can actually see is, I believe it was on the weekly chart. So we were actually printing some bearish divergences. So we can see right here on our momentum waves, we had printed a bearish divergence, and that was a warning sign to get out of the market. But we had our key zone here. So this was the level that we had to hold, and we were bouncing around within this zone. But as soon as we broke this level, we got an absolutely massive dump to the downside, and this dump is about almost a 30% move on Bitcoin. So you know the altcoins have been getting absolutely smashed. But the question is, have we bottomed? Well, what are the key levels we should be looking out for? Now, the first key level that we want to be looking out for is this key level back here at around $48,000. So we can actually draw a line at that level. So this is going to be our first real big level of support where we could potentially see a bottom in the market. However, if we could not hold this level here, then it is more likely than not that we are going to come back down into this previous trading area here, which could potentially bring us down all the way to $40,000. So right now I am expecting Bitcoin to go down a bit more and to come down and touch this key level here, whether we consolidate on it or we get a sharp bounce back. This is the first level where I'm going to be looking for price to react from. Now, our second level is going to be my blue box here. Now, am I worried about this? Well, let's have a look at some higher term time frames for a second. Now, when we zoom out, we can see that we are just experiencing a wave 4 correction. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Now, guys, I am a little bit sick, but because of what's going on in the market, I had to come on here anyway and give you guys an update, so just bear with me. Now, since the bottom of our bear market, all we've seen is a wave 1 with our wave 2 correction, and then we put in our wave 3, and now we're currently experiencing a wave 4 correction. And once we bottom, this is when we're going to put in our fifth and final wave of the bull market and go into price discovery. But we are currently just putting in that wave 3 correction, which is made up of A, B, C correction like that, if I just draw it like that. So I believe we are very close to a bottom. As I said, the level I am targeting is going to be that level right here at around $48,000. Now, we may have already bottomed, but I do believe that we are going to come down a little bit more and touch that level. And when we bottom, that's setting us up for that big wave 5. Because you have to remember that these markets, they like to shake people out before the big moves come. And I'm going to show you a chart that shows this. So this is where I believe we are right now. So I believe we are right here experiencing a bear trap, because what we can see as well, this is your typical market cycle, but it also follows a 5 wave impulse. So you have your wave 1, your wave 2 correction, your wave 3, your wave 4, and then your wave 5 before you finally go into your bear market where you get that big A, B, C correction back down. And that's where I believe that we are currently right now in the cycle. So let's get rid of that for a sec. Now let's take a look at some of our altcoins. And one altcoin I like to look at is Dogecoin, because it's one of the popular meme coins. Now, what are we looking at? Well, what we can see here is that we were consolidating within this value area here. So we were bouncing around and then we eventually broke out. Now, this was just a wave 1 impulse to the upside. So from our low, we got our wave 1 impulse, and we're now having a wave 2 correction, which has brought us down to these highs here. So we're currently just on a wave 1 and a wave 2 correction. So our altcoins are actually lagging a lot further behind. And now that third wave is probably going to bring us close to those all-time highs. And we'll get a wave 3, and then we'll get a wave 4 into price discovery. Now let me just draw this a bit better. But you can actually see that our altcoins are actually lagging behind massively compared to Bitcoin. We're only experiencing that wave 2. So when Bitcoin eventually has its next wave up, that's when the altcoins are going to explode into that wave 3. We'll likely see one more correction before we get that 5th and final wave. But right now, with our altcoins, we're still holding bullish market structure, because all we've done is from our breakout point, which was when we broke out of this sideways consolidation zone here, all we did was break out, and now we're coming down to retest that as support. Now we're holding that level as support, ready for our next move higher. And that's currently what I'm looking at for the altcoins. And the reason I like to look at Dogecoin, it's a great indicator for the overall strength of the altcoin market cap. Now, going back to Bitcoin to a second, now where we are right now in the cycle, this actually reminds me of the March 2020 crash, because that was a bit of a black swan event. Now, what happened back in March of 2020? Well, this is when we got the COVID crash, and this was actually a 63% move. Now, the move we currently experience is at only 30%. So this crash is nowhere near as bad as the crash we saw in COVID. Well, why is that? Well, Bitcoin's a lot more mature asset now, and it has a lot more buying pressure from institutions. And you can see that whales are actually coming in and buying at these prices right now. But it reminds me of where we are right now. It reminds me of this period of time right here. So I do believe that we are somewhere here getting ready to put that massive impulse up. And once we have bottom, I'm expecting a massive turnaround in the market to get that 5th wave up, where we go massively into price discovery. And that's pretty much my outlook for Bitcoin and the crypto market. I'm more bullish buying now at these prices than I was buying up here. And this is a great buying opportunity. And the people who are accumulating quality altcoins right now are the ones who are going to make life-changing money. But that's pretty much all I've got for today's video. If you liked that video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to purchase my top 10 picks for 2024, or if you'd like some one-on-one coaching with me, message me on either Instagram or Twitter. But besides that, I'll see you guys next time.